All right. Just turned it on. My camera is not working, so I have to use my MacBook. And it's still not bad, but
That's not bad.
yeah. Your audio
It's
is
not bad.
super clear, though.
Well, we don't get paid for our good looks. I would starve.
Yeah. No, you look very good. You look very handsome.
Thanks. Uh,
All right. I think, yeah, we are live now. We have people starting to join in. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people
give me
are.
give me one quick second. Let me see what my. I think my next call is scheduled at 2:30.
What time
But
is
I'm
it
not
right
sure.
now?
Give me one. It's about quarter of one. We have plenty of time.
Okay.
Give
Okay.
me one second. Let me just double check it. Because normally I had kept the afternoon free, but then one emergency after another came up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, so we have plenty of time. Next call is at 2:30.
Okay, cool. I have call at 11, but I think that's like an hour and a half for us. Hopefully that it won't. It won't. I mean, I know people are waiting for it, so we will see a lot more questions, but we can go.
Whatever time it takes. But I do want to discuss the CPT issue. That's a very weird issue.
Yeah. So yeah, let's start with that, and then we'll address questions. So we'll start with CPT, OPT, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. So are we ready? Should I get started?
Yep.
Okay. So as many of you know, most of you know if you're students, that there are multiple kinds of practical trainings. There is optional practical training, which can be done during the school year, or it can be done after the school. If it's done after the school is over, your degree is over, it's called post completion practical training.
Hmm.
Okay, post completion OPT. Then you have the 2 year STEM OPT extension. But the most difficult ones are the curricular practical trainings. And I have been looking at this issue since 2015. I think government is screwing up this issue, and they are going to, mark my words, write them down somewhere. They're going to lose in court
Hmm.
because they have created such an untenable, undefensible set of rules. They no longer make any sense. I'll explain. So the regulation up until 2015 is the same as it is today, was that if you are in school and you take CPT, I'm making it very, very broad strokes, we will deduct that time from your OPT. Okay. Which is understandable because you shouldn't be getting more time than the regulations allow. Um, we can understand that. Okay. There's a rationale behind it
Hmm.
that you shouldn't be getting two bites of the apple. If there's a limit of certain number of months and years you can work, that's all it should be. But here's the problem. What is CPT? CPT is when you are working to gain experience for which you get credits. So that's education. That's not really work.
Hmm.
Therefore, if you are doing CPT, you should be getting work authorization as long as CPT is needed. So if you have one course in first semester that needs CPT, you should get CPT for that semester. Second semester, another course needs CPT, you should get CPT. There should be no limit on that. Otherwise, you are stopping my degree.
Right.
You
Yeah.
see, and that's where the problem is.
Hmm.
What the government did in 2015 was, it was always our understanding that CPT is unlimited,
Hmm.
OPT is limited, and OPT is also, it you deduct from the OPT your CPT time. That we always knew. Government said CPT OPT combined cannot go past 1 year. That does not make sense.
Right.
You are stopping me from doing my degree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Not only that, this is where things get really muddy. So they have been saying for 3, 4, 5 years, no, 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 you can't have CPT after 1 year of CPT OPT combined unless you go to the next higher education level.
Hmm.
If you go from master's to PhD, we'll give you another 1 year of OPT CPT combined. And I said, no, no, because as long as I need the CPT for my school, you cannot stop me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now, What is happening now is this, that as you know, once you are in school, your entire life and legal determinations are in the hands of the designated school official.
Yeah.
Who's a designated school official? It is somebody who has been trained by the USCIS to work as a representative of the USCIS in some ways. It's actually ICE 7.
Yeah.
So they are the people who are advising our students about the law. They are giving CPTs well past 1 year, no problem at all.
Hmm.
So a student who's taken CPT, and this question gets asked maybe 3 times a day of me, and that's why I wanted to record this. So what if a student is given a CPT, but it's beyond 1 year?
Hmm.
I would say, I think the law needs to change. But what is the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
What is the worst that can happen is if you convert to an H-1B, they can say, well, we won't give you H-1B within USA. You've got to go outside, get a visa stamping. I would like to test that in court, by the way. Okay. I think they are wrong. I think their interpretation is incorrect. And I don't think they can do this weird interpretation without changing their regulations. Okay. So the net effect is if you get CPT and you're desperate, you need it, take it. What is the worst that can happen? They'll make me go outside to get a visa stamping. So be it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
But don't do it if you have to travel and you don't have a visa stamp, because it is possible that the consulate will not let you come back. However, when you convert to an H-1B, the fact that you took CPT is not a bar. So they can't stop your H-1, but they could stop you coming back from F-1 or F-2, some of the weaker visas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So somewhere along the line, somebody would sue them. It could be us. It could be somebody else. There are plenty of lawyers out there. Some of them do just nothing but litigation for a living. So ultimately, this is going to happen. This is very screwed up. It is not acceptable. I will write it up. I will make sure I share it with the world at large, because the more people become aware of these issues, the more likely it is to be addressed. I would also bring it up to the policy committee that President Biden has formed, which is supposed to revamp the existing immigration policies, because this is a policy issue. This is not a regulation issue. Regulation is in my favor, in my opinion.
Right.
So that's my CPT issue. But you had something you want me to talk about?
I can't remember, but do you know any new news on H-1B? I mean, I think they announced that they're gonna push it to December 31st. Anything other than that? Like, so this year they're gonna go back to the normal lottery system, right?
This year we are doing the normal lottery system. December, we'll see what happens. May, the regulation that increased the wages goes back into action again. But I think they should deregulate. They should issue new regulations to overrule those regulations. Right now, we have nothing to worry about. We'll worry about the problems as they arise.
Yeah.
As I think I was talking to you when I said that in my mind, Biden is pro H-1B because it helps the country and the business as long as it doesn't hurt the local workforce. So they are going to look at this issue carefully instead of making rules and regulations without thinking about it. They are going to take their time. They are going to decide what is best for the country. And I think anybody who's been involved in this field knows what is good for the country. I was looking at the statistics on innovation. It's amazing how much innovation the H-1B holders have done.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I am hopeful it'll work out well. The problem is we only have about 18, 19 months before the next election comes in. And we don't know how that's going to go, the mid-year elections. So we'll see how they go. But by that time, hopefully we would have revamped the immigration laws of this country.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I think that's it. And then we'll start taking questions. Before that, I think there are some people who have sent me their questions. Number one was on CPT, that they are on day one CPT. I'm sure you're aware.
Let me explain that. So let's talk a little bit more in detail about how the logistics of CPT work. So curricular practical training is usually available after one academic year. After you finish one academic year, then you can go for curricular practical training. Except if it is a graduate program, the course is required by the university's curriculum. For example, it's on their website, it is in their brochures. You can actually be given what is called day one CPT. So
Hmm.
that means as soon as you enter the school, you get a CPT. So that's day one CPT.
Got it. Right. And is it? I thought it was 9 months instead of 1 year to for the normal
It's 2 semesters,
2 semesters. Okay, got it.
one academic year.
Yeah. Okay. So this person is on day one CPD, and they were asking if they should travel to India and come back.
No, no, no,
No.
no. Wait,
Wait. Okay.
wait
Cool.
until you get your H1B or until we get further clarity from the government.
Mm. Okay. Cool. All right. We'll start taking questions now. We have a lot of people already and a lot of questions. Okay. The question we will start with Shekhar Cheruvu. My query is that my friend has H1B picked up in 2015, didn't move to USA. Now he wants to know if he can extend that or will he have to apply again for a fresh H1B?
This is another one of those situations which the government has mucked up unnecessarily. I did say mucked up, MUCKED. So the problem is the law reads if your H1 has been approved anytime within the last 6 years, you are not subject to the quota.
Hmm.
Okay. There are two areas of contention. One, what does it mean for the H1 to be approved? So I am in India. My H1B was approved, but I never got the visa stamping.
Hmm.
Is my H1B approved? Government, when you ask them, says no, but when I file for an extension or a transfer over to another employer, they give it to me.
Oh, okay. Without
Okay.
stamp.
Without stamp.
Hmm.
Because if you look at
Barabar.
folks
Like
always
right, right.
say, when you want to understand the law, begin with the language of the law.
Hmm.
The language of the law says very simply, if it is approved, it is approved.
Yeah.
It does it say unless it is visa stamped or unless it is change of status approved? None of that is relevant or should be relevant. Yesterday, somebody was saying, my lawyer is telling me you have to have worked with the employer. I said, fire your lawyer, get somebody else who knows what they're doing. Okay.
What? So that's the example for someone who's in India. But what if like so I got H1B and I've never went to India for stamping. Can I still get
That's
extension?
okay. Yeah, that's okay. But
Yeah.
there are some people who are a step beyond that.
Huh.
What they do is when they apply for the H1, let's say they are on STEM OPT extension, they'll say, give me the H1 approval, but I'll go get visa stamping later. So that's consular processing. So they are not converted to H1.
Hmm.
See, you can convert to H1 one of the two ways, within the United States or outside the United States.
Hmm.
So what they do is they postpone their conversion and they stay on F1.
Oh, okay.
Just like a guy who's outside in India who's going to go get a visa stamp to convert, they also say we'll get a visa stamp. Are they also eligible for H1 quota exemption? In my view, yes. And I've done cases that have worked out quite well. Okay. But if you ask the government, they'll tell you, no, we can't do it. And I challenge that. I think that is definitely legally infirm because the plain language of the law says you can.
Right.
Okay. So now the question this young man asked us, I suggest, by the way, you just keep the first names, don't give the last names.
Okay.
So this gentleman said, my friend's H1 was approved 5 years ago. Well, that brings us to the second question. So the law says, if your H1 has been approved within the last 6 years, the question is, where does that last 6 year begin and end? So if your H1 is approved from 2013 to 2016, should we count 6 years from 2016 or 2013? If we count from 2013, you're out of luck.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we count from 2016, you're still good. Okay.
Right.
So far, the government's unwritten policy is they count from 2016,
Okay.
the date to which it was approved.
Okay. So for this person, he can apply.
I think he's fine. Go for it.
Okay.
What is life if there's no adventure?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. That was awesome. I learned a lot of things. I should
I'm worried
definitely
about you.
I should definitely count these hours as my paralegal hours.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you something. In Virginia, it is a misdemeanor, as it is in most states, to practice law without a license. Okay.
Oh,
Not only that, it probably is a problematic situation where you help somebody else do the same thing.
oh,
So
okay.
don't you be practicing law, I'll get into trouble.
Got it. Okay. Okay. I will officially enroll myself and then I'll practice under you.
Unless you get a license to practice law, you can't.
Oh, okay. Oh, got it. All right. Next question is, can I do freelancing online on F1 visa?
No, I don't think so. Not until we get clarity on this from the government. And I would be absolutely astonished if they allow it.
Hmm. Right. Yeah. Next question is from Varun asking, Department of Homeland Security made an announcement that business analytics is going to be classified as non-STEM with a new clip code in March on March 20, and we are graduating at that time. Does that affect my STEM extension?
I do not know, Varun. I'll have to look into it. You know what you do? Contact your DSO. The reason I tell people, almost always I will tell you to contact your DSO. Remember, your DSOs know more about procedures than I would. I have to go look it up. Okay, but when it comes to law, we definitely know more law than they do. So it's a matter of procedure. Check with your DSO, and if they tell you you are going to get stuck with non-STEM extension situation, email me. We'll see if there's a way to get out of it. Help@immigration.com.
Help@immigration.com. Yep. Okay. Next question is from Sanyam. Please enlighten about doctors who have passed USMILE exam.
USMLE. Mhm.
USMLE exam. Any effects on their inflow with respect to H1B or J1 visa?
No, there is no change. For physicians, there is zero change, except that the rule, Department of Labor rule that has been pushed to May, may increase your salaries. And we know that medical residents don't get paid a lot of money. So that is the only thing that could be a problem. But then you can use private wage surveys, which tend to be more reasonable.
Hmm.
So the only, as it was before, you cannot get H1B for a clinical job unless you've done USMLE 1, 2, and 3. J1 you can get with even, if you don't have USMLE 3, you can get your J1. But H1B clinical, H1B research, yeah, no problem. But H1B clinical, where you're going to deal with patients, you have to have cleared USMLE 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Nice. Next question is from Akshay. Hi Rajiv sir, is it difficult to obtain a F2 dependent visa for my dependent while I'm on OPT? If so, what are the area of concern I should be aware of?
Well, first of all, don't call me sir, just call me Rajiv.
I think it's
The
just Indian culture.
Stop being so Indian, dude. Just
No,
chill out.
I am saying that because even when I was in India, like it's just an habit for people to call sir. Over here, I mean, I guess the professional culture is changed and people call from first name.
I understand, but it also is unnecessary. It wastes bits and bytes. Why waste power? Right? That's electricity.
That's why I call you Rajiv Ji. So it shows
So,
respect.
so the I forgot the question. What was the
F2
question?
F2
F2.
dependent.
So see, I don't see any specific problem unique to OPT people applying for an F2, nor have I seen any. The rules are the same because what is OPT? It's an extension of your F1.
Hmm.
You are still in F1 status. And that was the lawsuit that the uh, Washington Tech Alliance, whatever their name is, they lost. Uh, that was the lawsuit they were trying to say that you can't give OPT and STEM OPT extensions because they are not students anymore. And the court said, no, they are still students. It's an extension of their status. So the court disagreed with their division. So by taking the same logic, it's still student visa. So it is F1, F2 as it was before OPT. The only additional thing is you should have a job and you should be able to demonstrate that you've got a job. So pay stubs, letter from the employer would help. Otherwise, I don't anticipate it being any more difficult. At least I don't have any reason to say that right now than a normal F2.
Got it. Okay, awesome. Can we? I think we have answered this, but let's see if you have different opinion. Can we open LLC company on F1 visa?
Uh, F1, see, when you say F1 visa, you're talking about three different periods in your life. You're talking about F1 still in school, F1 is in first year OPT, and F1 in other kinds of OPT, CPT. In the only time you can actually do business in your own field is when you have that 1 year OPT, the first year OPT, because that's an open market employment. As long as somebody can keep your hours and verify your hours. For example, I have a friend who is working as a graphics designer, and she's contracting with three different companies as an independent contractor, and they give her money based upon the time she spent, so that her time is being documented. Okay, and she is a graphics designer major. So when you have a situation like that, it's possible, but normally you cannot do business while you're on student visa. Now, there's a difference between opening an LLC and doing business. There's a difference between making food and eating it.
Right, right.
Okay? You are not allowed to eat when you're fasting, but you can make food.
Yeah.
It's a hint to all the wives who are doing Karwa Chauth thing, right?
Right, right.
So the point is, you can open an LLC, you just can't do business.
Right. You can't be an employee.
You can't be an employee, and you can't even be an owner who is working actively. If you just own the company and sit back and the company run itself, that's okay. But if you are
What
running
about
the
the
company,
money? Like the money, if the company is making money, can you make money?
if the income is passive income, why not? So if you have, this is my interpretation of the law. I can't tell you that there's a specific law that I can point to.
Yeah.
But my interpretation is, if you invested money in IBM and you got dividends, what is the difference between that and a passive income in your own company in which you are a stockholder?
Yeah, got it. Okay. Lily is asking, PL, a parent citizen. PL, I don't know what that means. PL, a
Public
parents.
law.
Oh, public.
I don't.
A
Could
parent
be.
citizen waiting for P1. P1, a parent citizen waiting for F1, unmarried adult child to be joining. Approved and interviewed, but waiting. Cause of proclamation ban to be lifted. When would that
Okay.
happen?
When would the ban be lifted? Very soon. It's expiring. All the bans are expiring in March 31st, I think.
Yeah.
So plus, I think Mr. Biden is looking at all that.
Okay. Hitesh is asking, is H4 EAD biometric a rule or an additional requirement? Can it go away also like that? Or it
It's
needs...
a part of a regulation, so it can't just go away like that. Somebody has to deregulate it. So it's not a policy that can be changed. It's a regulation that has to be deregulated.
Yeah. Any changes to student visa? I don't think so.
No, not really.
Yeah. Someone said, does Rajiv ji look like Irfan Khan?
Oh, he's dead, man. I'm not dead yet.
But you can still look like him.
Man, he was ugly too.
I don't think so.
No, he was a very intelligent man and very talented. He was a great cricketer, actually.
Yeah.
He was a good cricketer. Came from I think from the royal family. And did you know that?
No.
Irfan Khan.
I
thought he came from the royal family. And but I loved his movies.
Yeah, I love his movies too. Anyway, we digress.
No, why not digress? I don't care. We go where the conversation goes.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, next one is someone on from Roshni, is someone on day 1 CPT and gets H1B approved, is it safe to go for stamping?
Absolutely, Roshni ji. They can't stop you from getting an H1 just because you have day 1 CPT. You can just tell them, so what? So I violated status according to you. You want me to get my lawyer on the phone with you? So, no, honestly, there is no issue with that. But just don't lie about anything. Be truthful. Satyameva jayate. Whatever you tell, it should be the truth. Truth always wins. If you lie about something or try to just be cute about it, you could be in a world of trouble. Just be honest.
Okay. Next one is from Siddhi asking, I'm currently on H1B visa. My sister is filing for my green card as sibling green card process. My question is, does that affect my second H1B extension anyhow?
No, no. Having a green card filed for an H1B is a non-issue. And Siddhi, if your sister's name is Riddhi, I want to know if you have a Ganesh in the family too. You don't know the, do you know the reference,
Yeah,
Yudi?
yeah, yeah. I do, I do. Uh, they are sisters, right? Sisters?
So Ganpati has two wives, Riddhi and Siddhi, right? Ganpati Ganesh.
Ah,
Your God, Lord Ganesh has two wives. One's
yeah.
name is Riddhi, the other one is name is Siddhi. Maybe there may be more. I just know about two.
Okay. Next one is from Anjali asking, is it better to go to Canada, easier PR, or the US, stringent visa policy and no certainty? I guess it's more like a life question.
For visa stamping or for moving?
She's just generally asking if she should
Look,
go.
I went to school in Canada. I love Canada.
Hmm.
Okay. The difference between Canadian mindset and US mindset is as follows. I always give this example. You can tell how a country is by the traffic lights. So when you are in Washington, D.C. downtown and you want to cross the road, the moment you step on the road, the light starts blinking. Your time is done. Your time is done. In Ottawa, you can cross the road, cross it back, and cross one more time, and you still have time left. Nobody is in a hurry.
Yeah, that's. But that could be even in like in my town. That's very similar. I think people are very calmer.
Your town must be in Canada.
It's a college town. It's a old people town.
It's the mindset.
Yeah.
It's the mindset. Like where my oldest brother lives, the the parking meter here in our area, you have to feed 25 cents every 15 minutes. In his city, it's 25 cents. Downtown, it's 25 cents for the whole day.
For the whole day. Wow. I think we have 25 cents for an hour.
Yeah, so here is 25 cents per 15 minutes.
Expensive. I mean, you don't have to worry about money.
I never did anyway.
Yeah. All right. Next one. And Siddhi did respond at saying that her sister name is Riddhi.
Tell her your father and your mother must be very accomplished people, because I don't know. If you ever read the mythology of Ganpati and the significance of Riddhi Siddhi, because you see, as in life, law, religion, and mythology can be read at so many different levels. There's a level at which why Ganpati would be associated with Riddhi and Siddhi is such a great insight. When you start understanding it, it blows your mind. Keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Next question is from Shri. I got my H1B stamped from Canada in 2019. I'm planning for India visit soon. I'm with the same employer. Am I eligible for Dropbox in India, considering my initial stamping was not from home country?
I have to look at the rules. There are so many little rules, but from what I remember, it doesn't matter where you got your visa from, as long as your visa has not expired more than a year. I think that's the rule. Just read the rules on their website, and you can always email them if you have a question.
Okay. Next question is, sorry, what the question is? It's moving so fast I can't read. Rohan is asking, I'm on initial OPT planning to apply for F2 visa for my partner to whom I will marry next year. What if her F2 visa gets rejected? Are there any
You
other?
cannot you cannot apply for an F2 you're not married to.
Okay.
F2 is not for partners. You could try a B2 for her. Sometimes they will give B2 to. See, what happened was, let me tell you the story of B2 instead of F2. So before homosexuality was accepted in the United States as a marriageable state of being, what we used to do was, if they were a gay couple, because we could not technically give them a derivative visa, we would bring them in on a B2 visa. And they could keep extending year after year after year while the H1 holder was here or the L1 holder was here. And that actually we do for now, we do for parents. They don't qualify for H4, so we bring them in on B1 and keep extending that, or B2 or keep extending that. So it is highly unlikely you're going to be able to bring her in on a B1, B2, but you can try. F2, she won't get without a marriage.
Okay. Next one is from Karthik. Hi Rajiv. During my study in US with F1 visa, can I work in India? Work remotely for a company in India?
Tough question to answer. I think the answer could go either way. Personally, I think it's a bad idea because it could still be considered to be work because it's on US soil. I've heard opinions that if there is no connection with the United States, for example, the company doesn't do any business with the US and they have no money flowing in through US, it's perfectly okay. I don't think so. I think it's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea. Okay. Next question is from Hemant. Can I land in Dallas if I've taken visa on the basis of Northeastern University in Boston and then fly to Boston after 10-15 days? I think so.
Absolutely. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Next question is from Bandi Srinivas. I'm done. I'm done my H1B for 18 months till 2016. Came back to India, and since then I did not go back to US. And now, if I want to go back to US, do I need to go with H1 transfer or I need to go with new H1?
If you are changing employers, in fact, I just today I sent in an article to the Economic Times about can H1B workers work from India and still maintain their H1B? And my answer is yes, but always law is about but.
Yeah.
Okay. So to answer your question, if you are going to change employers, do an H1B transfer, and you could probably combine it with an extension. If you're coming for the same employer, the maximum time I've had somebody join after H1B approval was 2 years, but they were working for the same company in India also. So the fact that you came to India and now you want to come back again, that should not be a problem. Just do an H1B transfer.
Okay.
You won't need a new visa. You should be able to use the same visa if it is valid.
If it is valid. Okay. Next one is important. Ananda is asking, I'm on H1B and stuck in India due to visa stamping. My wife is in USA on F1 OPT. Can I convert myself to F2 and travel?
Yes, you can.
But then will he lose his H1B?
We'll have to come here, apply for a change of status again to H1, or go to Canada, Mexico, get a visa stamp. There are two difficulties. I want to talk about two things before we forget. The gentleman who was going to school in location X but landing in location Y, make sure you have a good reason for it. Customs and Border Protection could ask you. So, for example, if your uncle is in location Y where you're landing, make sure you have some proof of relationship that you're going to go visit them and then you're going to go to school. And as far as H1 converting to F2 is concerned, the only doubt I would have is it looks like you want to go work there. And on that ground, I can deny your F2.
But it could also be like, I guess, yeah. And then, but
it's up to the consulate. It's
Yeah.
up to the consulate.
Yeah. Okay. Next one is from Pratik. In last vlog, you mentioned about patent law. Is it going to be good career in upcoming years?
Oh my God, yes. Remember, patent law is going to be around for the next 1,000 years because wherever you have inventions, discoveries, original processes, they have to be protected. And you know that the world is about innovation. So absolutely. The only question I would have is, what is your technical area? So if you are going to be in biotechnology, technology, all these fields, you'll do well, but fields that are in a slump may not do that well. But the good news about it is that if you have a degree in technology, you can really learn about other things and still be a patent counsel.
Okay. Next question is F1 to marriage-based green card conversion in a second year of program. It's a STEM program. Please comment. I don't understand the question, but
No problem at all. Because if you are a genuine student and then you want to get married to somebody with whom you've been singing songs around trees, I understand that's how love works. So, so it's perfectly okay because you did not misrepresent your intention in coming in. You attended school. Now, if somebody comes in and 10 days later says, "I fall in love with somebody," I've got a problem with that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Got it. Okay. Next question is from Ayushman. Can I switch from F1 to H4 EAD multiple times?
Well, that means you're switching back and forth, and the answer is as many times as you like. As
Okay.
long as you pay government the fees, you can do it as many times as you like.
Okay. Uh, Next question is from Roshni. She's following up on Siddhi's question. My brother is a citizen here. Can he file for my green card while I'm on H1B? Would that affect my H1B or
Not at
no?
all. You can have green card going in multiple categories. The problem is brother's green card is 13-year process.
Right. Okay. Next one is can I apply for DV lottery while I have gotten my F1 visa?
It's a difficult question to answer because DB lottery is definitely an expression of intention. But from what I remember, not having looked at this issue for a while, it was not a problem for many people. Double check it, but I think it is possible.
Yeah. Next question is from Ajinkya. Can we go to Canada instead of home country, India, for first time H1B visa stamping?
You can go to any country, not just Canada. This is called third country national processing, TCN processing. The only caveat, the only caution is make sure the country you are going to, Jamaica, for example, people go to Jamaica too, they are taking the applications because sometimes if they don't have the bandwidth, they'll stop taking TCN applications. Because every consulate can access the same database, you can actually go anywhere. So the cloud saved you guys.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Next question is any chances of getting H4 EAD without green card application of H1B spouse under Joe Biden's administration?
No, no, that's by regulation. They can't change that. They could make some accommodations. But there's a particular regulation, I believe it came out in 2016, that allows you either you should have filed for an H1 extension beyond 6 years based upon a green card or
Yeah.
have an I-1 approval.
Yeah.
Only then you can get H4EAD.
Yeah. Okay. Does lottery for H1 account for how much your salary is, or it does not matter until
Zero consideration.
yeah. Okay, next one is from GSK. My employer filed perm with level 3 wages. I 140 approved too, but they could not go ahead with I 485 due to higher wages they have to pay.
Well, listen to this. Listen, this is such a silly thing for the employer. Either they are being advised very poorly or they are advising themselves. Both of these cases, they are if they are being advised very poorly. First of all, the green card salary is a question of intention, not of a commitment. When I say, Yudi, I'll hire you, and when you get green card, I intend to pay you $300,000 a year. Now, okay, so you get your green card. First of all, within a commercially reasonable time, I want to progress into that salary. So I say, okay, month or two, I take 6 months. 6 months after you get your green card, I take you to that salary level. In a couple of months, I realize, Yudi is not doing the job that I want him to do. Or we are not making enough money to pay Yudi that salary. What if I went back and said, sorry, I can't pay you that much? Is that a problem? Absolutely not. Can they take away your green card? Absolutely not. What if I within 6 months I refuse to give you that salary? Can they take away your green card? Hell no. Because everything was done with good faith, honest intention. Things didn't work out.
Hmm. So what's the difference between this? My personal question. What's the difference between 140 and I 140 and I 485?
So 140 is an application filed by the employer to prove that my employee is qualified for the position. I have the money to pay him. The job is genuine. I-485 is an application filed by the employee to say, okay, now my I-140 is approved, convert me to green card.
Hmm. Okay. Same. So I'm assuming same for spouse base, which is 130. And
130 and I-140 are kissing cousins. I-130 is between relatives, I-140 is between employer-employee.
okay, got it.
Puppy-jappy cousins.
Got it. Uh, Next question is I missed it. Trying to go back, but yeah, sorry, never mind. Okay, that question is hi Rajiv ji, I have my STEM OPT ending on May 221. Sorry, May 2, 2021. Could you please suggest what is the best approach I need to make if I get H1B picked? Should I still join the college for day one CPT? Because he's, yeah, like
Well,
he,
if you get picked up for lottery, this question should be directed to your H1B lawyers. How good is my case? Am I going to win? We can predict 99% of the cases which way they are going to go because the truth is right in the paper. Is the job specialty occupation? Is the employee qualified? So really, it's a question directed to be directed to the lawyers. But if you want to be overly cautious, you could also discuss with your lawyers about joining day one CPT.
okay.
But I want you to understand something. Look, not only do we represent our clients, we also guard the system. Part of our job as lawyers is to help make sure people don't exploit the system. So if you're going to do day one CPT, make sure it's a program you're interested in. Just don't just to get work authorization. I don't know how good I feel about that.
Hmm.
So I think that's something to be considered.
Yeah. Okay. Next one is from Nimesh. Hello, Rajiv ji. I'm on F1 OPT and got case number and waiting for EAD card. Is it true that I can work with I797C notice of NOA? If if not, is there any other way I can start work as soon as possible? How to hold employer long? So they're
Was
like,
this a STEM extension? Is that what he said?
no, it's the first OPT approval. He's just waiting for EAD card.
To the best of my knowledge, again, I could be wrong about this. I don't think you can, in the first year of OPT, you can't start working without the EAD. There's nothing else you can do.
And if it is for extension, I assume that it is first time.
Timely filed people who filed an extension timely can start working for up to 180 days from the date of the expiration of the OPT with just the receipt.
Okay. All right. Next question is do I need to change my F1 visa F1 visa stamp to the current university if I've transferred it from different one?
Do you need to know when you travel? Will you have to? I don't think so. Double check with your DSO if something needs to be done. In my view, it should be fine.
Yeah. Okay, next one is from Pratik. My friend's employer filed his perm on December 4th, 2020, and H1B expired on December 17th, 2020. He changed status to B2 so he can legally stay in US. Do you think he will have issues with his perm application?
Can you run that question by me? There were too many dates.
Yeah.
Tell me what the question is again.
So his perm employer filed his employer filed his perm on December 4, 2020,
Mm,
and his H1B expired on December 17, 2020. He
mm,
moved his status to B2 so that he
mm,
can stay legally in US. Do you
mm.
think he will have issues with his perm application?
No, he will not. That has nothing to do with POM.
Okay. All right. Can we next question is from Monica. Can we apply F1 and F2 together both at a time? And what if F2 is rejected? What can we do?
Well, first of all, depends upon the ground of rejection. Okay. If the F2 is rejected because there's something wrong with the F1, you could apply for your own independent F1. But if the F2 is rejected because if what is it, 214B, that you're not going to come back, then even F1, you're going to have the same problem.
Hmm. But
So
they can apply at the same time.
not on the same day, but I believe you can make separate applications for them
Okay.
within the same time frame. So one day you go in for F2, you don't get it, you go for F1. That's fine.
Right. I think my assumption is he's asking, say, if he and his wife or his wife and husband can apply
Or
F.
together. Of
Yeah.
course. They should do that.
Yeah.
They should go in together. That's the right thing to do.
And while they are doing it, what if the spouse is rejected? Is that's probably what he's.
Well, it depends upon the spouse's F1 or F2. If the F1 gets rejected, everything is gone. If
Yeah.
the F2 gets rejected, bye bye, wife, see you later, he's gone.
Uh, okay. Next one is, can I earn from paid surveys when I'm on F1 visa? Is it possible to do affiliate marketing?
No.
Yeah. Next question is from Swastya. I'm on F2 visa. My sister is a permanent resident now. She will be a citizen next year. She will be filing for my parent green card. Is it faster for her to file for me now, or my parents should do after they got theirs?
Did she say she's on F2?
She's on F2. Yep.
Your parents can't apply for you, ma'am. Married children, they can't apply for, unless divorced, widowed, or single, your parents can't apply for you.
Hmm.
And your sister, 13 years
Hmm.
or more.
Yeah. Okay. Next one is, any chances to increase H1B visas beyond 85,000?
Isn't it 65,000 in the open market? And the answer is Mr. Biden give the inclination that he wanted market forces to decide how many H1Bs should be issued, but he does want the wages to be corrected.
Hmm.
We'll see. It has to be done by Congress, though.
Okay. Next one is, Bhavesh is asking, what changes would be required in S 386 bill in order to receive approval in both Senate and the House?
I do not know the answer to that question. Right now, I don't even know if Trump is going to get convicted or not.
Yeah.
So, with politics being so divisive, it's so difficult to say what's going to go through, what's not. Luckily, Democrats have a slim majority in both. So, let's see how it goes.
Yeah. Okay. Next question is from Harsh. I'm a US citizen and I'm 16 years old. So can I apply for my mom's green card or citizenship?
Nice try, very good thought, but wait 5 years. When you turn 21, you can.
Oh, okay. Um, and then how long is it?
Immediate.
Oh, really? Huh.
So the only time it takes is the time it takes to process the paperwork, which is 6 months to a year, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. But technically, the green card is available right away.
Hmm. Okay. Next question is from Rajit. My girlfriend is a green card holder and we are planning to get married soon. My STEM OPT expires on September 2021. What
Hmm.
is the approximate waiting time if we get married before my OPT expires? Hmm.
Google Visa Bulletin and see what the wait time is for family based green cards. The problem is, unless the dates are immediately available and current, you cannot stay in the United States just because somebody has filed an I-130 for you. Okay. So that's kind of the question, right?
Yeah.
So that may not be your best option. You should apply for an H-1B.
My guess is that all the three chances he has gone through and not able
But
to
he
get
has
it.
one more, right, this year?
No, his STEM OPT. I'm guessing that that's the last one like last
He
two
can
years.
still apply for an H-1B.
Oh, this year. Got it. Right, right, right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Is it someone is asking, Sharans is asking, is it legal to earn from sponsorship from YouTube on the side while on job on H1B or OPT?
I think I have a problem with that because at least you're doing something. If you're outputting some videos or something, it could still be considered active income. But you guys, this is just my interpretation. Government could come back and say, no, 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 we feel it's okay. I don't think they ever will. Because remember, law has to keep up with life.
Hmm.
And life is changing. There are ways of making money that did not exist. You could play one of these video games and record it and make lots of money. Somebody made what, $1 million playing just the games and recording them.
Yeah.
So that's what is it? My nephews were teasing me. I didn't know the name. Some fort something whatever. So
Oh, Fortnite. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fortnite. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty boring. But everybody has their thing. They
Yeah.
think law is very boring. So but the point is that as ways of making income change, the law has to take into account that. But at the same time, also remember that the fundamental principles remain the same. You came here to study, don't do all this.
Yeah. Right. Should we do last question?
We can. We can.
Can okay.
My call is, what time is it?
It's
My
10.
call is scheduled in 1 hour. So I'm busy again after an hour. I would like a little bit of time to rest. How are you fixed? Are you busy?
I have a call in 30 minutes.
Yeah,
So,
we can do 10, 15 minutes more. I'm okay with that.
okay. I do want to have last 5 minutes for words of wisdom from you.
What's the wisdom? You're looking at
No,
the
no,
wrong.
like the story. Like people wanted to know your story. So maybe last 5 minutes we can divert into that. But okay, let's do. Someone is asking, can we invest in cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Ethereum while on F1 student visa? If yes,
I think I think so.
yeah, you just can't trade, right? Like you
I
can't.
think that would be a problem. I think that's too close to active.
Yeah,
But just investing, holding on to Bitcoin is perfectly okay.
yeah. Next question is Raghavendra. Can we travel with advance parole to come back USA and maintain H1B for work?
Oh, yes, absolutely. The way it works is if you are on H-1B working for IBM, I always talk of IBM. I don't know why. If you are, it's just a good example. You're
Yeah.
working for IBM and you are a database administrator. So you travel out on your H-1B. You have your H-1B approval, but you don't have a visa. You got the advanced parole. When you come back, you present the advanced parole. You are still considered to be on H-1B if you go back to the same job with the same employer.
Mm.
You're still a database administrator and you are with IBM. Let's say a month later, you change your mind, you want to transfer to Oracle. You like Oracle better than you like DB2. Hey, personal choice. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You transfer over to Oracle, you're still on H-1B.
Mm.
Just when you come back, you should join the same employment. But later on, you can transfer also.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Next one is any possibility of USA going to point-based immigration system like Canada?
High possibility.
Yeah. Okay. Next question is hi Rajiv sir. Do we see any improvement in wait times for obtaining H4 EAD?
No. But you know what? Here's the interesting thing. I was looking at an order from the court. There's an H4EAD lawsuit pending, and the court wanted to know what the time frames were. So that always moves things around. You know how you put I don't know, things in a mixer and things start shaking up. It's kind of like that. When the court asks for something, and especially because the government has changed. So you might see some improvement, but don't hold your breath, you guys. There is also a question of resources. Do they have the people to do the job?
Yeah. Next one is it possible to get an SSN without having a job? No.
And the answer is no. In fact, we had a litigation against a class action lawsuit, which the government settled. They gave me $50,000 check just for filing the lawsuit. Uh, and I was okay with that. We were not doing it for the money, we were doing it for the people. But we got paid very handsomely, and the problem went away. The problem was they did not used to issue any SSNs at all. But then, after we had a little conversation, they started issuing SSNs for non-work related purposes if you can demonstrate it's needed. So if you look at, if you just Google, in fact, I did that for somebody in, I forgot the state. I wanted to say Indiana. They were not getting their H4, H4 was not getting their driver's license. And they said that you don't have an SSN. And I showed it to them that, you can't get an SSN except if you can demonstrate you need one. So if you give me a letter saying I won't give you a license until you get an SSN, I can get an SSN. So you got to prove that you need it for non-work related reasons. By the way, my social security number still says not valid for employment.
Oh.
I got it as a student.
Yeah. Even I got it as a student, but it was for a campus job.
Mine was a couple of years earlier than you.
I like you say, couple years.
Give or take to 20, 25 years, a couple of years.
Love it. Okay. Next question is Bhanu is asking, can I directly get green card from F1 or OPT? I'm an Indian student, or one more. Can I do, and one more, can I do freelance on F1s? Freelance, no,
No
but
freelancing.
yeah.
That's easy. But you said, can I get a green card from F1? Yes, but will you? No. Because it takes 13 years, 10 years, 15 years. And if you are a student, somewhere along the line, you have to go to H1. And if you travel while the green card is pending, CBP could stop you from coming back in saying, hey, you have a green card going. You can't go in as a student. So now, if you were from Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, where the dates are much quicker, you might be able to make it work. In a couple of years, you would have your green card. So while you are still on STEM OPT, you don't travel, you could get your green card while you are still on F1. But not for India-born people or China-born people or Philippines-born people. That may not be possible.
Okay, next question is, my sister is planning for masters in USA. She has a hearing and speaking disability. How will be the visa process for her?
No problem. You just need to, first of all, it's not a disqualification for visa if you have physical challenges. Plenty of students here do everything, and there are ways of accommodating them through alternate methods of communication. So as long as she's a genuine student, she just needs to let the consulate know that she will need special assistance. And they will make sure either there's a sign reader, a sign language person, or whatever she needs.
Yeah.
They will accommodate.
Yeah. Okay, next question is from Gautam asking, EADs are delayed. What if we don't get EAD on time? Do we fall under expire visa?
I don't think you do. I'm thinking he's talking about OPT and STEM OPT extensions. But I wrote on my LinkedIn page that you guys should just start volunteering. And volunteering for nonprofits is a lot easier. And make sure you volunteer at least 20 hours. If you volunteer for a for-profit company, as long as it's not the company where you want to get your job, you could do that. But there are certain requirements set together by Fair Labor Standards Act. Okay. In those requirements, I'll just give you the broad outline. Normally, a for-profit employer cannot take free work unless the work is for the benefit of the person working. I'm doing it for you, not for me. Understand, second thing, understand I'm not going to give you a job. Don't expect a job from me. And three, there are 7 requirements, 7 criteria. Basically, the idea is I'm not trying to get free work from you. I'm doing you a favor.
And they can start without their EAD?
Yeah, because it's not employment.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Next question is, my wife is a doctor, from Ali, is asking, my wife is a doctor for a residency. can she move from J1 waiver to H4 on my H1B? What about H4 EAD?
First of all, once she gets a waiver, she can move from anything to anything.
Hmm.
But many of the waivers require that she work a certain number of years on an H1 for the sponsoring area, agency, or program. So it depends upon the kind of waiver we are talking about. You've got the Conrad 20 waivers. This is a new language for you. You've got the interested government IGA waivers. There are all kinds of waivers. There was the Appalachian region ARC waivers. So there are all kinds of waivers. It depends upon the kind of waiver. And I think her waiver would require her to work on H1B. Can she do it after she gets the waiver? Absolutely. Will she be able to get a waiver that doesn't require her to work? I don't know of any.
Okay.
Not for physicians.
Got it. Yep. Next, I think a lot of questions were how can we get in touch with Rajiv ji or his company, help@immigration.com. That's where you
Yeah.
need to email.
Yeah, I'm actually responding to a lot of inquiries the best I can do. I'm pretty much current on everything anybody has sent me. But sometimes I might get delayed a day or two. So don't worry too much about it.
Yeah.
I'll get back with you.
Yeah. Next question is I have a next question is I have if I have a break in H1B and I-140 approved, am I cap exempt to go back to the same company or different company if I work in the company abroad?
I think he's talking about the same thing. I've got the H1B approval. I want to transfer companies, and my answer is yes, go for it.
Okay. All right. There are lots of questions.
The best.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to avoid some which we have already answered. Okay, there's this one. Any
You know
chances?
what, Yudi? I think you need an assistant.
Yes, I do.
How about we ask your boss to come and help us out?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I don't think he would mind as long
Not
as.
not he, she, your real boss.
Oh, my real voice. I think that'll be a fun session.
Let's
She,
ask her.
yeah, yeah. I will. I will.
Tell her we
Maybe
could use
next
your.
session we will have her with us. Cool. Next question is any changes for people in Bangladesh on unmarried F1 on STEM OPT and parents' green card applied for I-130 2019 November and brother citizen I-130 approved 2015.
If you are talking about speed, I do not know. Bangladesh comes under rest of the world. See, the countries are divided by particular country for their dates or rest of the world. So India is special, China is special, Mexico, Philippines, all are special, but Bangladesh is extra special. It's the rest of the world. So whatever those dates are, I don't know what those dates are, guys. I
You
can
just
barely
have to go to visa bulletin. Yep.
just Google visa bulletin and look at the most recent one. But there's no change. If you asked, is there a change in terms of the law? No. Is there a change in terms of the speed of processing? I doubt it, but you can take a look at the visa bulletin.
Yeah. Next question is I think there are a lot of people asking similar.
You know, I have to mention this. Bangladesh is amazing. This little country has made so much progress. Their GDP is better than Pakistan's. They've done so much good stuff, and their cricket extraordinary for just a little country. You know,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Keep going.
Have you been there before? Have you been to Bangladesh? What all
But
countries?
I used to play the bansuri for Durga Puja. So I got to know a lot of Bengali people. And Bangladesh is a Bengali and Muslim culture combined, but ultimately it's the same thing. The culture has a lot of similarities. So Bengali people are pretty amazing people, very fine arts oriented and very, very radical in their approach. Subhash Chandra Bose, you know, he started his whole
Moment.
Azad
Yeah.
in Fog. So yeah, pretty radical people. Very
Nice.
impressive.
Next question is asking from there's two questions. One is can we work for online business in the name of family member of India if they are on F1 visa?
So are you saying can we commit fraud? Is that what you're asking?
That's what they're
No.
asking.
Probably not a good.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of questions just on the same pattern
Yes,
that
so
we
because
are on.
people don't know, they have typed it out already. They didn't hear the. So let's hear the recording. Look, I've been doing this for 30 years. I can tell you there is a finite set of questions. I actually, after about 150 or so, I start repeating myself.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
about
yeah.
150 questions, and they keep coming up time and
Yeah.
time again.
Right. Now, yeah, and what I was trying to say is like the common pattern between the student is like, I'm on F1, can I do work to make money? That's like something which
You
keeps
know, I wish
coming.
they would do that. I wish they would do that. Why not? Why not? Why are we stopping students from doing that? If they are genuine students, why should they not be allowed to make money on the side? If I, as long as I'm maintaining my GPA, as long as I'm a genuine student, I'm not using it as an excuse to work in the United States, I should be allowed to make some money on the side. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I guess in Canada and other countries they are allowing. Uh,
I don't know. I was on a student visa in Canada, but I didn't have time to work. I was doing a graduate program in law. They drove us like slaves, so we had no time.
yeah, no, I at least the difference is that they still get 20 hours, but they can work anywhere, not necessarily have to be on campus. So that's the biggest problem for students who are here. There are not many campus job right now, and that's why they're looking out
And
for
they're
other.
very poorly paid. Those campus jobs are just, I don't know. If you go to
Well, it
$15 an
depends.
hour,
It depends. I mean, I have friends and I have seen if you get into like departments job.
labs and stuff.
Yeah,
Okay. That's different. But if you're working at the bookshop,
yeah.
you're getting paid 5.55 an hour or whatever the minimum wage is, you
Minimum
know.
wage. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Sorry. The next question. There was another one, but I lost it because there's so many. My company moved me to Canada after working in H1B from 2012 to 2020 with I-140 approved. Can
Hmm.
I go back to USA with
Yes.
same company under H1B?
Yes. Yes. You can actually go back with any company. Once the I-140 is approved and has been approved for 180 days, you can get extension beyond 6 years with any employer.
Hmm.
And this is true even if the old employer revokes your I-140.
Hmm. Okay. I think we will stop Q&A because it's 10:47 and I have about 5 minutes before I head out to my work meeting. So we will share like chapter one of your how did you come to USA? Your story.
Well, it's not that important. How I came is not important. But what I was thinking this morning is important.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking about this, but when I was in India, I read a book or a series of books by
Where are
a
you from in India?
from all over. I was born in Mumbai. I lived in Punjab and I practiced law in Supreme Court of India, Delhi.
Okay.
So I'm more like a cosmopolitan vagabond.
Nice.
But there was this guy, Sheldon Kopp, who was a psychiatrist, and he actually taught in GW.
Hmm.
I ended up coming to George Washington University to go to school. I didn't know at that time. I was just a teenager. I read his book. It was called If You Meet the Buddha on the Road, Kill Him.
Wow.
In other words, don't make anybody your master. Don't take anybody as authority over you. Follow your own inner signals, what feels right to you. So one of the things in one of his books, and I don't remember which book it was, I was very impressed with his worldview. He said, you know, in all our lives, we have three periods which are emblematic of the Hindu trinity of gods.
Hmm.
You have the period of Brahma, where you create new concepts. So when you were a little kid, you used to think there is a monster under my bed. And then as you grow older, you change that concept. And that's the principle of Brahma because you created a new concept. Brahma, the creator.
Hmm.
And then for a few years, that concept works for you. The world is built like this. And that's the period of Vishnu, Vishnu the preserver. And
Hmm.
then you grow up even more and you have to blow up all of that and form new concepts.
Yeah.
That's destruction.
Yeah.
That's the period of Shiva,
Yeah.
Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. So you create, you maintain, and then you recreate. Now, how is this relevant? Because all these things that appear to be so important, my OPT, my CPT, my this PT, the day you get your green card, for 3 days you are very happy. And then back to the same nonsense. It's like, I didn't change as a human being.
Right.
So I think one of the things you have to get comfortable with in life is to be able to blow up all your concepts and start all over again.
Yeah.
Our biggest problem comes from sticking to some things we learned when we were 6 or 7 years old and try to apply it to when we are 20, 30, 40, 50 years old. So I don't know why I was thinking of Sheldon Kopp this morning. He had a very interesting personal history. He had a stroke
Hmm.
at a very young age when he was in his late 30s or 40. And he had to learn even how to button his shirt with one hand because one side went away.
Yeah.
So for him, the period of destruction was great, and the period between the time of the period of destruction and new creation, there was a lot of pain. And normally, whenever you are in between these three periods, there is pain because you've lost the old, you haven't acquired the new.
Hmm.
So don't be afraid to blow up your concept. You think it's very important now, great, but a few years from now, you'll say, I don't even need to talk to Rajiv. Why did I call him 3 times a day?
Yeah. Yeah. That's so interesting. Never thought about it that way.
Not my thought, but I liked it, so I thought
Yeah.
I'll share it.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you,
Okay,
Rajiv ji, for doing this. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks again. And everybody, if you have questions, send out to help@immigration.com.
stay safe, guys. Stay safe, everyone.
Yeah. All right.
Bye, Yudi.
Yeah,
See
bye.
you.